for the recording to begin. Go. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm happy to call to order our monthly commission meeting, the Utah Department of Alcohol Beverage Services. I'm chairing the commission, the board, the governing board. We're calling ourselves now. We're sort of transitioning to that. And Stephen Handy, and very happy to have all of you here this morning. We're going to begin, as we usually do, with standing and repeating the Pledge of Allegiance. And we have Keith Nystrom, who will be providing that for us. So if you'd like to please stand and join him. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm just noticing these snazzy new placards, Melissa. Thank you very much. These are very neat. Look at those. They're great. Yeah, thank you very much. We like to always have an opportunity to introduce the fellow board member commissioners and the staff who are here with us. We've had quite a bit of preparation in subcommittees and in other meetings to prepare for today's meeting, and we welcome those of you who are online and joining us here in the multi-state office building in Salt Lake City. But the agenda should be able to flow fairly smoothly, and we'll just begin with that. So let me just introduce Vice Chair Jennifer Terrazon. She is online with us. Welcome. Commissioner Orton, Board Member Orton is here to my right. Commissioner Conaby to my immediate right. Commissioner Owens, are you online with us? Yes, I can see you. How are you? You're having some difficulties and challenges in your part of the state, aren't you? We're sorry about that.
There's some fires, but where I live, blue skies. So, and we got some rain.
Yeah. Well, that's very, very good. I'm going to say a funny one here. I saw a post that Commissioner Pollock was on his horse riding up through the fire. So did I get that right? Yes, safe. Thanks.
You got it. Yep.
Thank you, Steve. Anyway, inside joke. So we have Commissioner Tui here to our left, and Commissioner Juliet Tennert is excused. I'll just say that we were in Panguitch last, Commissioner Owens hosted us last month in Panguitch. We had a great time. We have Department Commissioner and Executive Director Erica Evans here to my left. Todd Darrington, our Deputy Director of Finance and Administration. Jeremy Summerlat, our Managing Director of Operations. Doug Murakami, our Director of Alcohol Education. Michelle Schmidt sitting in the audience, our Communications Director. Craig Ware here, our Compliance Administrator. Melissa Suarez, our Executive Assistant, and we're very pleased today to have Mary Watson, our Director of Internal Audit. Sam McHenry, Assistant Attorney General, and here on our staff here in the front table, we have Rob Hansen, the Training Program Manager, Stephanie Hansen, the Off-Premise Program Manager, Aaron Hinkle, the Violations Program Manager, Jorge Corona Levia, the Program Manager, and Steve Lucero here, helping us with our technical part of the meeting, and licensing and compliance specialist. So welcome, everyone. That's who we are, and we're very happy to have you here. One of the agenda items is just to notice that we'll be back here in the multi-state office building on July 30th, Thursday, and then on August 27th, Thursday. So we meet the last Thursday of each month unless there is a holiday conflict. Might note here that we have a couple of holidays in July coming up, as we all know. We have our wonderful 250th America 250. The administrative office and warehouse will be closed on Friday, July 3rd. That is the observed day for state employees to have their holiday, a long holiday. But on Saturday, July 4th, the stores will be open. So the stores will be open on Saturday, July 4th. The stores will be open on the 3rd. Well, see, I just got that wrong. Closed on the 4th. So, but admin's closed on the 3rd, the administrative office on 9th West. Okay. Well, there it is. Melissa, you had it right there, and you even prepped me, and I just blew it. And then Friday, July 24th, Pioneer Day, state holiday, that our stores will be closed, and the administrative office. We are welcome to have public comments, and if you are participating virtually, you'll let Melissa know. And those of you who might be in the audience to participate should have signed just the form in the back, and we'll be happy to hear from you. So let's get going with our agenda. We're going to have agenda item number 4, the Parents Empowered update from Doug Murakami. Doug, the time is now yours.
Thank you, Chair Handy. Good morning, Commissioners. I'd like to share some analytics from our Parents Empowered No Bummer Summer campaign, if I may, Chair.
Bet, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so before we jump into all of these slides here, the No Bummer Summer campaign is a fun way to stay connected with your kids and plan fun, safe summer activities. The website includes a parent personality quiz, brain facts, build your summer bucket list, and other great resources. Next slide, please. Okay, here are some of the analytics. We launched in late May and will continue throughout the summer. We've got the ability to have these live updates in terms of who's participating in this, so we're excited to check throughout the summer. But we had some great media coverage on 3 of the local network TV stations. And yeah, so we're excited to continue that throughout the summer. Next slide. Okay, so there is a personality quiz. This is where you can find out what kind of summer parent you are. As you can see, so far, most are wave riders and with very few compass type parents, summer parents. So I'm a little curious. I'm hoping some of you were able to maybe take the quiz and if you're willing to offer a full disclosure. I'm curious to know if anyone wants to offer that out. Anyone? Commissioners?
I have not taken the quiz, but I am afraid where I'll land, but we'll announce that in the next meeting.
Okay. How about you, Commissioner Evans?
I believe I was the wave rider, if you want the truth.
Wave rider, huh? Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. Anyone else want to chime in?
So I took it, and I was trying to remember because I took it as soon as it came in, so it's been a bit, but I think I might have been the wave rider also. It was either the wave rider or the planner. I was one of those. I was one of those, like everybody else, evidently. Total follower.
All right. It's just a little fun quiz, but yeah, thanks for participating. And next slide. Okay, so just to give you a sense of, what these parenting types are all about and some of the tips we tried to blend into this, let me just read through this wave rider. If you're a wave rider, and apparently Deputy Director Darrington is also a wave rider, so now we're going to know how he is as a parent. Anyhow, the chill captain of summertime. This parent guides the ride without gripping too tight. Their parenting style is all about trust and rolling with the flow of life. They believe kids learn best through experiences, independence, and figuring it out along the way. Friends naturally gather at the house, and while this parent might get a little carried away with telling 6-7 jokes, the kids usually let it slide. I can see Todd doing that. These parents form close bonds with their kids because they listen with an open mind. Kids know they can share things without fear of a lecture. And then their summer watch out. Being flexible is one of their strengths, but a lack of clarity might leave kids unsure where the boundaries are. When expectations aren't spoken out loud, kids may assume rules are looser than they actually are. Think of it this way. Snacking after dinner might not be a big deal, but something like underage drinking is. Their brain is still developing, and alcohol interrupts this process. It's not the same as an adult drinking alcohol. And then our little tip or suggestions. Setting clear rules are actually helpful for kids, whether they admit it or not. They have more confidence to say no if they do encounter alcohol underage. These conversations don't have to kill the vibe. It can be as simple as saying something like, I know you'll be out with friends this summer, and I trust you to make the right decisions. But remember that underage drinking is never okay. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions for me? So that just gives you a sample, really just a fun way to say, hey, think about this a little bit. Here's some tips. If you're, this type of parent, so to speak, then, you may want to consider some things as well. So anyhow, thanks. All right, next slide. Oh, maybe we'll go to the brain slide. Thank you.
It's official.
Okay, this is another area. It was kind of nice to see that 47 people checked out the brain fact interaction. So that'll just, if you click on those little bubbles there, it'll tell you a little bit about brain and how alcohol could impact those areas. Next slide. This is the part that I think that's a lot of fun. This is where you can build your summer bucket list. So if you're a wave runner, it'll automatically put you in that category, or you can change the parent type, and then you can also select the county that you're going to be in. And then those boxes there are just suggestions on different activities you can do as a family, and there's a bunch of them. You click through those numbers just below those, and there's really a big list of things that you can do. And it also allows you, if you're talking with your kids and working with them, figuring out what they'd like to do in the summer, so you can enter in your own ideas for the summer. And then it's also printable, so you can throw that up on the fridge and kind of have your checklist for things to do in the summer. Okay, last slide, please. Okay, and then lastly, why does this all matter? And then I'll just read some of these facts. 45% of kids who drink before age 14 will become alcohol dependent at some point in their lives. So the earlier kids initiate drinking, the greater the likelihood that they're going to have problems with alcohol later. And then 67% of kids who drink before the age of 15 will also go on to use illegal drugs. And then lastly, 56% of Utah kids who drink did so at home with their parents' permission. So that comes from the 2025 Sharp Report. And so that's something that makes us pause and something that we feel like we need to maybe pay a little more attention to and work on. So thank you, commissioners. This concludes my report.
Doug, that was a terrific report. I'm always very interested in the science of about surrounding alcohol, and you're always so great to explain that. But those statistics at the end, that 45%, 67%, 56%, ought to give everyone, a parent pause to think about that. Any comments from anyone else? Commissioner Tui.
Thank you, Doug. That was super interesting. I took the test, the quiz while we were
Okay.
sitting here.
Oh.
Apparently, I'm a social butterfly. Big surprise.
Big surprise.
But it's interesting because, in the summer watch out section, it says social pressures increase in summer, especially around underage drinking. Kids might see adults or even peers drinking and think it's normal or harmless, but alcohol can harm their developing brains. It's interesting seeing that little snippet in context of the data that you just shared, saying 56% of kids drink at home with their parents' permission. That is concerning, especially in the summer, right? So I think it's important that you are getting the word out that no underage drinking is okay, and that parents are the ones sharing that message. I mean, that's the whole, science behind Parents Empowered and why it works. I was curious what kids means in your survey. Does that just mean everyone under the age of 21?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first part of that.
I just was curious in the survey,
Okay.
what does kids mean? Is it everyone under the age of 21?
Yeah, great question. So the Sharp survey polls kids that are in 6th, 8th, 10th, and 12th grades.
Okay.
So that's an all grade combined statistic there. And it's done every other year.
Thank you.
Commissioner Conby?
Yeah, just a quick follow-up question on Commissioner Tui's comments. I'm a wave rider.
Great, great,
Yep,
great.
thanks. You're now up to, I think, 1,504 total users, but you haven't engaged. So following up on her comments, the more people are engaged, the more they understand, the more they know what they're in, the more they're innocuous. I'm assuming these parents think their behavior is innocuous and it may not be. So as you go to educate them, and we have a 28.6% engagement rate with 1,700 people coming in, right? How do you increase the engagement rate, right? That's I always say your previous customer is your best customer in real estate, right? Similar to this, we have someone that logged in that was looking, how do we capture them? I was thinking, is there a coupon we could do to state parks or some way to integrate it that might be helpful to give them something for going on?
Yeah, that is a great question, and that is our challenge, right? I know that we use our media channels to get that through. We've asked our local prevention coordinators to get this out to the local areas throughout the state. Social media is another key area that that we're pushing this out to as well. So yeah, we're fortunate enough to have a lot of people involved with this, and we have those access to those media
And
channels.
is that, I come from a place of ignorance, is that I would imagine that's a good engagement rate, right? 28%. I know on direct mail and stuff,
Yeah.
down in the low 0.2s. So
Exactly.
We're told that's very good. Obviously, we want more people to
Yeah.
get engaged, and
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of just a fun way to do that. So
Okay, great. Thanks, Doug.
yeah, thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioner Orton?
I just wanted to, I'm just dumbstruck over the 56% number.
Yeah.
And I am reminding myself that that is children, that's kids up to age 18 who are responding, not their parents. And I think it goes to, I was trying to figure out why that would be so high. And I think maybe it goes to the fact that parents who are drinking in front of their children and not offering any sort of advice or opinions about how they are, how they feel about their children drinking while their brains are still developing. I think maybe kids are reading that as a quiet okay to their kids. I think it goes to the importance of the work that you and our partners are doing regarding educating parents that they need to verbally explain to their kids that there is a difference. There's a difference between an adult drinking and a child drinking. And because I think that if we had the ability on the SHARP survey to do a survey of those children's parents, that number would be very different. I don't think parents think of just their silence on the topic, how the kids are reading that. So anyway, just wanted to say that I think you're on the right track. The work you're doing and along with our partners is important, and in educating parents to verbally explain to their children why there is a difference.
You're absolutely right, and that's what the research tells us. And speaking to that, ask the parents. We do also do a parent survey, and ask them, questions like you just mentioned, and there is a bit of a disconnect there, what the kids are saying versus what the parents really believe, and so that is the challenge, and that's why we need to make sure we're educating parents on the harms. Great.
Thank you very, very much. Doug, as always, this report is always on our agenda. As we talk in just a moment, Mr. Darrington, our finance director, will indicate that for public safety, millions of dollars from the proceeds of alcohol sales a year go to fund Parents Empowered. And so it's a critical part of Utah's strategy and policies regarding alcohol. So Todd, we'd like to hear from you now, please.
Thank you, Chair. The finance report for this month is for period 11, which ended May 31st of 2026. Revenues for this period, we're continuing to observe the trend we've seen all year, which is fairly flat. We were down about 1.25% on the month. And for the year, we're down just under 1% overall. So very much in keeping with what we are seeing on a national and international trend. It is important to note, though, that the state of Utah continues to outperform both control and open jurisdictions. So we are doing better than others, which is nice to hear. For expenses this period, we did have a decrease in expenses of about 7%. It's just kind of the natural timing between payrolls and when bills come in. Nothing that was odd or abnormal in any way, shape, or form. We, at this point, are trending to about 88 million in return to the general fund, not counting the 50 million almost that we've contributed for for school lunch, the 11 million for public safety, and the about 3.5 million that goes towards the Parents Empowered program. So over 200 million by the end of this year is where the trend is looking between all of the earmarks as well as the unrestricted funds that the department will send back to the state. A healthy financial position, and one we will probably continue to see into next fiscal year. Are there any specific questions I can answer for you this morning?
Todd, this is your last meeting with us, and I would like to express and give the other commissioners an opportunity to appreciate you and wish you well in your new opportunity. And we really do hope you succeed, and we're very certain that you will. And you've been just a great addition to the executive staff, and it is a big, huge budget. And you've come in and you've helped clean up some things. This is very simplified what I'm saying, and we appreciate, and the state of Utah appreciates very, very much your service. And we really do wish you well. And you've been a delightful friend, a good friend to all of us, and very helpful to us when we've called you to help with all kinds of questions. And thank you very much, and all the best to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the best to you. Wish you well. So let's go on here to now, Commissioner Evans, you're up to talk to us about operations update.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'm actually going to kick it over to Jeremy to start us off with our first operations update, and then I'll take it from there.
Ooh. A very good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to present a little information. Over the past month, the month of June, our entire organization has been engaged in an inventory count of all alcoholic products at our 52 state stores, the warehouse distribution center, and all Type 2 and Type 3 package agencies. Inventory counts like this are aligned with retail private sector businesses and their practices. This is a big lift, but certainly well worth the effort. The count was conducted by a third party to ensure accuracy of ongoing counts throughout the year and sets a baseline as we head into the next fiscal year. This is a large undertaking, and we appreciate all those involved. A huge thank you to our operations team, our retail enterprise division, as well as all of our warehouse, retail store staff, and Type 2 and Type 3 package agents. Thank you for working through this year's inventory count. Much, much appreciated.
Very impressive, Director.
Thanks, Jeremy. So just one other operational update. We've been talking over the last year about what we've been doing with our enterprise resource planning system, what we lovingly call D365. And we are excited to report that all of those updates in that system, which really touches the entire organization, are ready to go live starting with the new fiscal year. Just a reminder, this system really enhances our inventory management and control capabilities, our cash control processes, and just really our financial visibility. Both the inventory count and this rollout of D365 are initiatives that speak to what we've been doing over the last year to really revamp and set the foundation again for our operations. So we're excited about it and I feel like we're in a good place. And while I have the mic, I'm also going to just sing Todd's praises. So he's a huge reason why this rollout is happening. He's a huge reason that we are in a fiscally sound and transparent place. And I will miss him, and he's going to do great where he's going.
Thank you very, very much. Any comments or questions, commissioners? All right. We're ready to go to the next item. And this is number 7, the violations. And this is always an important part of our agenda. We have had the opportunity in our 2 subcommittees, operations and compliance, to review with our Attorney General's representative, Sam McHenry, these violations, and with Erin and her other staff to work through these. So we'll turn the time to you now, Sam.
Thank you, Chair. We have 16 items on the consent calendar this month. Settlement agreements are in place, and they are considered as a block with one vote unless any of the commissioners would like to pull any of the items out, and we can discuss that further. And with that, they are ready for commission action.
Thank you very much. We have, as commissioners know, this on, we call it the consent calendar. So it would be appropriate if we could have a motion for approval.
I'd make a motion to approve the summary of license violation consent calendar items listed 1 through
16.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. 1 through 16.
1 through 16. Thank you very, very much. And a second, please, Commissioner Orton, a second, please. Any further discussion? Seeing none, let me ask the director here, do we need to have a roll call vote, or we can have we're good to have a voice vote for those 2 online? Thank you. So all in favor of this motion to approve the consent calendar regarding the 16 violations that have been adjudicated and settled, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you. Now, Commissioner Evans will have the licensee recognitions.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. You should have in your packets, and then you'll also see up on the board all of our licensees that passed what we call a cub inspection this last month. We have 119 licensees from across the state. I just want to give them a shout out publicly, highlight them, and thank them for passing that undercover investigation conducted by the Department of Public Safety to see if they're following proper protocol, not serving to minors. We thank you for what you do and for operating safely.
Yes, thank you very, very much. Just for the public's notification, a lot of those violations that we just approved have to do with underage, serving underage. Thank you. Anything, commissioners? Okay, good to move on. We're now going to have the consent agenda. This is quite lengthy. This has the approval of the minutes, the May license renewal, campaign results, off-premise beer, many other items, manufacturing package agencies, on-premise banquet. We'll get down to a couple of these, and I think Commissioner Conaby will have a motion for us. And so Craig Ware will now present that to us. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. If you notice in this consent agenda, we have included the prior meeting's minutes, also the renewal campaign results from the renewal campaign, and some but not all license and permit applications. If you notice on our renewal campaign results, we have 411 license records that do meet the statutory requirements for renewal. 5 records will not be renewed. The consent agenda includes applications for the following types of licenses and permits. We have off-premise beer retailer, manufacturing, package agency, hotel, on-premise banquet, local industry representative, restaurant beer only, restaurant limited service, on-premise beer retailer, it's a recreational amenity, and the restaurant full service applications. The consent agenda does not include the bar applications or the bar establishment applicants because these applications often warrant additional discussion among the commission and the applicants. They will be heard and acted on at a later separately from the consent agenda. It is important to note that all the applications for your approval on this consent agenda have been processed, vetted, and do meet the statutory requirements. You as the commission do have the presentation materials and have had the chance to ask questions. This consent agenda can be voted upon as a block, or if there's something separately you'd like to be heard, you may do that as well.
Thank you very much. And just to note that we have had that opportunity. We've had a packet for a week or so, and looking at all of these, and had the discussions in our two subcommittees and in other time in preparation for today. And so thank you very much to you, Craig, and your staff, all of the work that's done here to get us to this point. So, commissioners, anything that you'd like to note?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just something real
Please.
quick. I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda, but I would like, with that approval, to pull out two items. One would be item J, the on-premises beer retailer for Rio Management Services, number one. Sorry, I skipped one. And then the other would be item number F for banquets, number two, Rio Management. There was discussion in our June compliance committee meeting about making sure from a standpoint of precedent that if anyone has a violation on an existing license and they're applying for a new license, that we just pull them off the consent calendar. I don't think there's any issue, and I don't think there was any discussion on any issue with the applicant in front of us. We think they do a great job. We want to make sure if there was a pre-existing violation that's at least discussed and brought out in the public and not done through consent. So that would be my motion. It's a super long motion, but if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
So the motion is, let me restate, to approve the consent items as presented by Craig, including the the May minutes, with the exception of in under F, number two, the Rio Management Event Services, and then under J, number one, the Rio Management Event Services. Is that correct? All right. A second on that, please. Second from Commissioner Orton. Any further discussion? So, thank you, Will. I'll place that motion, and then we'll come back to these two other items. All in favor of the motion as stated and presented, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed. Thank you very much, Commissioners online. Okay, that is approved. Now, Commissioner Conaby, would you like to?
Yeah, just a
take these
quick
items?
question for
Thank you.
Craig. Could you just kind of summarize on the Rio Management Event Services, the violations, when they were and what they were, as we look forward to voting on this?
Yes, certainly. So it was common ownership with two locations. The first location was a sale to a minor, occurred in October of 2023 and adjudicated in March of 2024. The second location had other violations. The first was more than 2 alcoholic beverages in front of a patron, more than 1 primary liquor, allow a patron more than 2 drinks, unlawful dispensing, an unapproved dispensing area, and no ID badge. That also occurred in October of 2023, adjudicated in February of 2024. And the applicant is present if you do have further questions or need further clarity.
Great, thank you. Does the applicant want to come up?
Sir, just give us your name and yeah, thank you. Hold on, that mic's not going. Tap, there you go, try again.
Sorry, first time up here in a while.
It's okay.
That's a good thing.
My name is my name is Brian Borson. Good morning.
Brian, just real quick, can you talk about, since, obviously October 20th and 23rd, you've been working on changing some things, and whether that was adjudicated on March 24th or February 24th, I'm sure for you doesn't matter, but can you talk about a little bit about the changes you made and what that looks like going forward with the new applications?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
So those are at two locations that I carry licenses at. The first one at Soundwell, we'd work with law enforcement on a particular. There was an incident where they were searching somebody down. We showed them the footage, and so they identified somebody that was furnishing a fake ID. They couldn't figure it out from the video, and so we'd worked with them, and so we saw as that process through, we basically said, okay, we're going to change this. We controlled the garden that we put in the space for Soundwell, and then it's got a full-time security personnel with a scanner at that location, even though even though it's for a beer recreational, it's not needed for that, or it wasn't at the time.
Mhm.
So we've added that, and then we've just added to make sure that we have management on, like, in that area and location, for any and all events that are doing that. In that space, we also do single event permits, and those are 21 plus only. And so those would be the delineations on that, for Soundwell. For Sky, there was we were led a little bit astray on a couple things that were happening at that time. And we've made those corrections. And so we worked with the management there, or the on-site managers and the staff there, and they are very well aware. We've made the corrections. We've worked with compliance on that side. And so all of those things have been running smoothly since.
Great, thank you. I'd open it up to the questions from commissioners, but first, my only comment would be, I personally am empathetic. I mean, it's hard to have a liquor license. There's a lot of rules and a lot of things you have to follow. And you have to put that in the hands of people that may be new employees that haven't been trained yet or need to be trained. But, when Doug talks to us about the ability of minors to drink and what the consequences are that down the road, that's why things get real serious on this side of the microphone and why we take a lot of concern for it. So we appreciate both your work. I don't want that to go unnoticed.
Yeah.
But just anything we can do to help assist you in making sure that violations don't happen again, don't hesitate to reach out to Erica, the commissioner, or anybody at this table. So appreciate your explanation. Thank you. Any other questions from other commissioners?
Yeah, anyone else? Any other commissioners' comments? Commissioner Orton?
Hi. It's been a while
Yeah.
since we saw each other,
Yeah.
but I wanted to ask you, piggybacking on Commissioner Conaby's concerns. So these new licenses would be for you to handle concessions at the fairgrounds
That's correct, yes.
and very large events. Lots of people, lots of opportunities for concerns to arise. So my question is, how are y'all handling staffing as far as this new, because this is a new operation for y'all? How are y'all hiring a bunch of new people? It seems very, who will be staffing and making sure that things run the way you want them to run at the fairgrounds?
I appreciate that question. So we've actually been operating single event permits there on a large scale basis for the last 4 years.
Oh,
So
at the fairgrounds?
at the fairgrounds.
Okay.
So
Realize that.
yeah, so on the large scale events, we still intend to pull single event permits. So we're very comfortable in that we have a team that we've been working with for many years. For those large scale events, we invite SBI. We've worked very closely with them. They bring a patrol center on site, a mobile command center, essentially. Most recently at Kilby Block Party, they had, I believe, 18 officers on site. And so we work very closely with them to go over service. They do training with our ID checkers. They handle that, and we're very comfortable on that side, and we've been operating that really successfully. I think the last comment that we received from our exiting discussion after that event was very, very positive, and so we're very grateful for that relationship and their interest in working with us on creating a safe environment on a large scale. And additionally, so the beer recreational and the banquet license, which I'm applying for today, are really to be able to focus on the wide variety of events that come towards the fair park, where I'll give you a couple for instances. Recently we had to pull a single event permit for the Guadalupe Gala, where they're doing a fundraiser. We're talking with the Road Home. They're doing a small event in one of the buildings. And so those are really what these particular events are for. On a large scale, it is our intention to still pull large scale permits on that. And so just to have the ability to receive people and then be able to serve them with the capabilities that we have at the fairgrounds needs to be, it's a large space with a lot of small spaces in it. And so that's our goal and our intention through that process.
Because unlike some of the other licenses, these do allow patrons under 21 to be present. And so that I was just curious about staffing. I had mentioned this to our staff earlier, that I just wondered how that would work if you are having to rapidly expand your staff. And so I'm glad to know that that's not the case. And you'll be working with a lot of veterans of these events. So
Yeah, we've every manager, every location has a manager. Any sort of that has worked with us. If we don't have one, we don't open it. And so we understand. We've taken the approach of just this is we're grateful for the opportunity to serve in great events for the state, and we want to be great stewards of beer and alcohol and events in the state. So we're really we don't take that lightly, and so we're always trying to take one more step, whether it's another, for instance, we like for an event like most recently was Kilby, so I just keep going back to that. We'll change the 21 plus wristband by hand. So internally, we don't make a note of that, but internally we'll work with the officers and we'll say, today is left hand. If you see anything differently, let us know. And then our team will know that. And so if somebody were to, remove the non-transferable wristbands and try to pass over. So we're constantly taking steps to do that. And then having the train managers, we do a thing that says raise the wrist. It's all over our stuff. And so they have to, so if they don't see the cashiers essentially, making an identification that they're able to see it from behind, and then they're able to also look down the line to identify groups. With the help of SBI, they've really kind of given us a few tips there. They tell us about if there's a group standing over here and one person walks out of that group and walks up, they're probably got a fake ID. They're doing that. So we've been really working hard on that. We take it very, very seriously, and we're grateful to have the opportunity to be involved in those great events, because they are really great events for the state. So,
right.
Yeah.
I appreciate your help.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I'd also notice on your website, you do events at the Galvin Center, the Granary, the Ogden Amphitheater, the Mill Creek Common, the Gateway, in addition to the Utah State Fair Park. So large volume. You're in the business of balancing safety and entertainment. That's the same business that we're in. So we appreciate your efforts there. And with that, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve item number F, number 2 for Rio Management Event Services, in addition to item J, the on-premises beer retailer, item number 1 for Rio Management Services, if that's an appropriate time to do
That is appropriate. Is there a second, please? Second from Commissioner Orton. Thank you very much. Further discussion from commissioners? Let me just say that before we vote here, that we really appreciate you taking time to come here today, Brian. You've got a great plan. Thank you, Commissioner Conaby, for leading out on this. You've got a great plan. We wish you well. We want to provide any and all resources and assistance and help, because you want to have a clean operation. That's what you want. You want to make your living and have a prosperous business. I want to say too that the legislature had curtailed the ability of the commission in the past to be able to consider violations in the granting of these licenses. And we had to fight and struggle a little bit to get back some of our common sense authority here. And so I just think that, commissioners, we can expect, when we have these on our agenda, and it'll be a case-by-case basis, that we'll do the same thing that we're doing here with Rio Management today, Brian. So you're not being singled out. The commission's just trying to do its job. So,
And we hope we get applicants like you at the microphone in the future.
yeah, exactly right. And thank you very much, and we wish you well. So
I also think that
Please.
I think it's very educational
Yes.
for other licensees to be able to hear the steps he's taking.
thank you.
And to be able to see, for us to be able to see the strides you've made since 2023 is really helpful to us to know that we're making the right decisions. So we really do appreciate you coming and speaking to us today.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion regarding the licenses for Rio Management Event Services, say aye.
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 I
Passed unanimously. Good luck. Thank you for being here, Brian. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we are now to the license recognitions from Rob, right? Thank you. Application. Pardon me? Yes, yeah, we did. We took the first vote and then pulled out the Rio Management. Are we all in sync? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, Rob, for you now, this is item number 10, the license applications consideration items, the bars. Thank you.
Right. Good morning, Commissioners. We have 29 full-year bar licenses available for the entire state, and next month we get an additional 18 bar licenses to add to the quota. Today we have 5 applicants, and any licenses awarded today for bars will be effective July 1st. That has to do with the renewal period. The first applicant we have is Cosmica LLC in Salt Lake City. This is a conditional applicant. They will actually surrender a full-service restaurant license upon receipt of a bar license today. We have Talisman Brewing Company in Ogden. This application is complete, and they will surrender a tavern license upon receipt of a bar license today.
Okay. Yeah.
We have Puerta Vallarta Restaurant in Cedar City. This is conditional. We have Granary Speakeasy in Monticello. They are complete. And then 4 SLC Salt Lake City. This one is conditional. These applications are ready for your consideration.
Thank you very, very much. Any questions for Rob? Then I'll entertain a motion, Commissioners.
I'd like to move to approve the applicants as listed on the agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner Tui. A second, please.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Conaby. Thank you very much. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll place the motion for approval as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I
Passed unanimously. Thank you very, very much, Rob. Well, that brings us to the end of the agenda, and item number 11 is comments from commissioners. And I just want to say that we wish everyone a happy and safe 4th of July coming up in a week. You know, the state has spent millions of dollars in finally a new state museum, and brought things in from all over. I know that Commissioner Evans has had an opportunity. Some of the executive staff and the state employees have had an opportunity to tour that. Have you been up, Sam? Apparently it is. Is anyone else? Yeah. See, some of you, it's just apparently just incredible. I'm going to a dinner tonight. I happen to have another commission hat serving on the America 250 Utah Commission. And there's a dinner tonight, and be able to see the museum, and really excited about that. And then it opens to the public Saturday. That correct? Saturday. And then I want to say too that on the 4th floor of the Capitol is a year-long exhibit. It opened in January. It's called the Pen is Mightier. And you walk around the 4th floor, and on the walls, it's just amazing. There's an original copy of Common Sense that the Marriott Library here at the U has, that's on display there. And it's really, really terrific. I got to see it earlier in the year, and so invite everyone to do that. One of our signature programs, and I brought just a few little handouts here. I'm going to put just here if anyone wants anything, but just a little commercial here. One of our signature programs is called America's Potluck, and this was an idea that originated with the Utah Commission, but has been adopted by all 50 states and Puerto Rico. And so it's proposed that on July 5th, and people can do whatever they want to do, but to have a potluck with your neighborhood or your friends or your family. And on the website, which is america250utah.gov, there are some very fun and interesting recipes there, not just hamburgers and hot dogs, and that's okay. Right, Jeff? Hamburgers and hot dogs, that's okay. You were very interested, so I thought hamburgers and hot dog. But very interesting recipes and some very fun things. So it might encourage you to do that. Here's just a little handout up here if you want to take it. And then the other one I have here is just all the activities that the Walk to 50 that the commission has had, and the three goals are educate, engage, and unite. And I think we've had a great time, and a lot of these things will continue past July 4th as the year continues. But just take advantage of that. It's great programs. I've attended all kinds of historical lectures and programs, and the Utah Symphony's doing some special things, and everyone's into it, and as they should be. So that is terrific. So that's my little comment. Anyone else comments? Commissioner Tui, got your mic on?
I was
Thank you.
trying to turn my mic off, but I do want your
But-
brochures. I am very interested.
All
in them.
right.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, good. Cool. Anyone else to comments? So,
I just want to second and third.
yeah.
Your and Commissioner
Yeah.
Commissioner
Too many commissioners.
comments about Todd.
Yeah.
You are going to be so missed at the DABS, and the things that you have accomplished. You know, I mentioned the other day, you have literally come completely full circle with D365. And and having been here through that entire situation, notice that I tweaked not to say rigmarole, but entire situation. Your work has just been extraordinary. Your leadership of your team has been extraordinary, and you are just a treasure. And Park City is just going to be so lucky to have you. So that's it.
Very, 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 very nice. Okay, everyone, think we're there. One final motion, and oh, no, wait, no, we're not for that. We have to have audience. Thank you. Anyone from the audience who would like to address the commission now is that time. Tanner, thank you. If you'd introduce yourself and state your name. Is anyone online while she gets ready to speak to us? Melissa, anyone online to speak to us? No, thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Tanner Strickland Leonard. I represent a lot of licensees here in the state of Utah. And I just wanted to say thank you to Commissioner Orton. I believe it is your last meeting.
One of them might be, yeah, getting close.
It was supposed to be.
Wait,
We're they're they're gonna let me stick around until the new comes on board.
Well, I had
But it's
some
okay.
nice
Go ahead,
things
Tanner.
to say about you, and I might as
Don't
well
hold
be
back.
like,
Say
now
'em.
it's going to sound like I'm trying to,
Just adorable. No, well,
Mostly I was just going to say thank you for your time, your energy, and for always asking the questions that the people on this side of the podium are thinking, and you usually seem to get right on there. Anyway, well,
Jeremy's favorite thing about me too. Yeah.
I'm thrilled that there will be a few more months maybe of hearing somebody else besides me drop a y'all around here.
Commissioner Evans, she wanted to just clarify for us.
yeah, I do want to say we've got her a little bit longer. We would never forget to acknowledge Commissioner Orton. So when the time comes, be ready, Tanner. But we get to have her for a little bit longer, and more news to come later. Mhm.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much. Anyone else? Yeah. You can have multiple of these, Jackie. You can have multiple times.
Like having my birthday week.
Yeah, birthday week. Anyone else from here present would like to address the commission? Now would be the time to raise your hand and come forward for a second. Seeing none, let's go ahead and have that final, Commissioner Conaby, give us that final motion.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Motion to adjourn, second is implied. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your, I said that.